So what if I told you there's one single habit that separates the powerful from the weak, the people who are unstoppable from the ones who are just average? Well, today we're going to break down the exact roadmap for building that one habit: daily learning.
And this idea right here is so powerful. The thinking is that our real enemy isn't the stuff we usually blame, like a lack of money or even fear itself. No, the real enemy is simply not knowing. It's the lack of understanding about how the world actually works that really holds us back from the life we want.
And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? It means we've got a choice. Either we choose to educate ourselves on our own terms with purpose, or we can just wait for life to teach us the hard way. And life's lessons often come in the form of pain, costly mistakes, and huge missed opportunities. This isn't just a hobby, it's about survival.
Okay, Section 1, the education of life. Let's start with a brutal truth here. Sure, formal education, school, it gives us a foundation. But what our sources really hammer home is that it's the learning we do after school is over. That daily self-education, that's what truly builds a life of freedom.
You can really see the two paths laid out here. On one side, life teaches you with pain. Debt, because you never learned about finance. Regret, from choices you made because you just didn't know any better. But on the other side, when you take charge of your learning, well, that's the path to real growth, to freedom, and, to becoming pretty much unstoppable. And here's what that looks like over time. For most people, let's be honest, growth just flatlines after they graduate. But for that small group of people who commit to learning something every single day, something incredible happens. It's like compound interest before your brain. That knowledge just builds and builds, and it leads to this massive exponential growth in their lives. All right, Section 2, your greatest power. So how do we get on that compounding path? Well, it all starts with the most powerful tool you have, your mind. You've got to think of it like a muscle. The more you use it, the more you challenge it with new information, the stronger it gets. And here's the best part. It doesn't mean you have to quit your job and go back to school. The commitment is actually super simple. Just 1 hour. One focused hour of learning a day. That's it. That one single hour can put you light years ahead of the 99% of people who basically stopped learning the day they got their diploma. And what are we building with this habit? It's so much more than just a collection of facts. We're talking about real, genuine confidence that comes from actually knowing what you're doing. We're talking about clarity, the ability to make smart calls when everything is chaotic. And most importantly, it gives you control. You stop just reacting to what life throws at you, and you start actually driving. But then there's this question, right? A tough one. It's so easy to blame everything outside of ourselves, our boss, the economy, whatever. But you got to ask yourself, what if the real problem, the real bottleneck, is internal? What if the reason I'm stuck is me? This quote just nails the urgency of it all. See, growth isn't just a nice to have, it's everything. It's the difference between becoming more capable and slowly becoming irrelevant. Because in a world that changes this fast, if you're standing still, you're not just standing still, you're actually falling behind. Okay, Section 3, the knowledge blueprint. So we're committed. We get it. We need to learn. But what exactly should we be learning to actually win? Well, our sources all point to 3 absolutely critical areas. This is the blueprint. First up, and this one is massive, financial education. And look, this isn't about some get-rich-quick scheme. This is about becoming free. It's about understanding how money really works, how to earn it, how to keep it, and how to make it grow for you. Because that last line says it all. If you don't study money, you'll spend your life working for someone who did. Number 2 is skill education. This right here is your ticket out of just getting by, out of survival mode. You've got to understand, you don't get paid for your time, you get paid for the value you create. And that value comes from having skills that solve real-world problems. Things like digital marketing, learning how to speak in public, or mastering new AI tools. And third, we have to talk about the internal game, your mindset and your emotions. Because let's be real, you can have all the skills and all the money knowledge in the world, but if your mindset is weak, if your emotions are running the show, you will sabotage yourself every single time. This is all about learning to manage your inner world so you can finally conquer the outer one. Section 4, building the habit. So, we have the blueprint. We know what to learn. But now for the big question. How do we actually build the daily engine to make this happen consistently? Let's break down the practical framework. It's actually a really simple 3-step engine. Step 1, find a project.
Don't just learn random stuff. Start a side hustle. Build a website. Do something that forces you to learn the skills you actually need. Step 2, learn daily. Make it non-negotiable, like brushing your teeth. And step 3, and this is a big one, teach what you learn. Seriously, trying to explain a concept to someone else is the absolute fastest way to master it yourself.
So what does that 1 hour actually look like? It's not as scary as it sounds. You just break it down. Maybe it's 20 minutes reading a book on finance, then 20 minutes watching a YouTube tutorial to practice a new skill, and finally, 20 minutes just journaling, reflecting, trying to understand your own thoughts and emotions. See? Simple, manageable, but incredibly powerful.
And that brings us to our final section, from learner to leader. So what's the end result of all this? What's the real transformation that happens when you commit? It leads to two completely, fundamentally different futures. Let's paint that picture.
On one path, you've got the person who stops learning. They get stuck. They become replaceable. Life happens to them, and eventually they just fade. But on the other path, you have the person who chooses to grow every single day. They become unstoppable. They become irreplaceable. They take control. They don't just follow, they become a leader in their own life.
And you know, at the end of the day, this whole journey of daily learning, it isn't just about making more money or getting a better job. It's about something much deeper than that. It's about getting in touch with that vision you have in your heart and then building the skills, the knowledge, and the strength to go out and make it real.
And that's what this all comes down to. Your future isn't some distant thing that's going to happen someday. It's being written right now, today, by the little choices you're making. So the question is simple, but it's everything. Will you be the one holding the pen? Are you going to be the author of your own story?